Welcome to Dr. Dana's Diary. Scientific conferences are great events. Personally, I cherish them because they offer on one hand an opportunity for networking, getting to know people, and on the other hand, of course, for scientific exchange. And at almost all the conferences to which I have been, almost everything went quite smoothly. But then again, once in a while, you will encounter something really strange. And this is going to be my personal top 10 list of things that went either totally wrong or went, more into the funny direction. Today, ranked number 10 out of 10 is a conference dinner. It was a conference in Australia, in Sydney to be precise, and it was a really good conference. I had met colleagues that I hadn't seen in a while again, and I met new people and got to know what's going on in the field, and I presented my own talk and it was well received, so nothing to complain, totally nothing to complain. And then came the conference dinner. Now, usually you do not know beforehand what you will get. If you know the colleagues who are organizing it, well, you have a pretty good idea, because some are really great organizers, even when it comes to the dinner. Now, what is a conference dinner? It's usually just a dinner of all participants and usually their spouses if they bring them along. And this one was no exception. So we were brought to a nice place in Sydney and had first drinks outside, and then we were allowed into the location, and it was a nice location, I have to admit. And everybody was allowed to sit wherever they wanted, and this is not always a given. So yeah, I was pretty grateful. I was sitting at a table. In total, we were 8 people. On my left-hand side, a colleague that I had just met. On my right-hand side, the wife of a colleague that I had known for quite a while. And it was a nice atmosphere. We got the first round starters, and it was pretty nice. And then the main course was supposed to come. Now, usually if you have special dietary requirements, you would let the organizers know beforehand. And this is usually not a problem. They usually will find the person who said, "Oh, but I can't do this one," or I don't know, I'm a vegetarian, for example. And this usually works fine. Now, in this case, what happened? Like I said, we were 8 people. And 4 people came and brought the main course. And they sat in front of every second person, including myself, a meat dish. And it looked really good, totally fine with me. So I thought that every other person was getting, the same just in a moment, because it also happened at all the other tables. And yes, they came back and brought the other dishes. Only wait, why are the people next to me getting fish while I have meat? And don't get me wrong, I really like vegetarian food, but once in a while I really eat good meat or fish. But this was so totally out of nowhere. I'm getting meat and the other people next to me are getting fish, and then the people next to them again had meat. It was so out of the ordinary. For a moment, it was like everybody was just, sharing looks like, did you order something in particular or not? And then the guy on my left-hand side was like, but I'm a vegetarian and I told them so. So he was like immediately off trying to find somebody to ask where his vegetarian food was and why he was getting meat. And now the lady on my right-hand side was like, yeah, I'm not a vegetarian, but I hate fish. And she got the fish. And hell broke loose all over the room. It wasn't just at our table. Basically, at every table, people were starting the great exchange. It was quite a sight. So I offered to the lady sitting next to me, if you want to, if you really hate fish, let's swap it. I don't mind eating fish, and the dish looked totally nice. So we changed, and we were not the only one. You could see literally everywhere people exchanging at the table or even getting up and trying to find somebody to exchange their food. It was quite a chaotic sight, and I've never had lived through anything like this at any other conference dinner or, well, in general dinner. Never. Never before, and it also happened never again afterwards. It was really a strange event. But after everything was settled, it was quite a nice evening. So not necessarily that everybody got what they had really wanted, but you rarely can choose at a conference dinner. But this was really out of the ordinary to serve every second person fish and every second person meat. And don't say it's, I don't know, totally normal for Australia, because afterwards I have been to another conference also in Sydney, and no, there it went totally different. So I don't know what had happened for this conference dinner, who ordered it. It was totally out of the ordinary. Now, if something like this ever happened to you, let me know in the comments below, and maybe we'll see each other again for the next one in this series. And yeah, I'm not going to promise too much, but that was quite an interesting thing that actually happened to myself. And it's not about food. That one was purely about science. And with this, I'm grateful for your attention, and I hope to see you soon for another video. Bye!